The Privacy Act, as currently written, is limited to the records of an individual. A term the Act defines as a citizen of the United States or an alien lawfully admitted for permanent residence. Ooh. As a result, a foreign national who is not lawfully admitted for permanent residence and believes the federal agency is failing to comply with the Privacy Act with respect to his record currently has no judicial recourse under the 1974 law. But we have what's known as the Mutual Legal Assistance Treaties, yes, of the Judicial Act of 2015. Now, let's look at this for a second. The purpose of law enforcement investigations are primarily governed by the MLATs or the TFTP and the passenger name record, the PNR agreement. Now, the umbrella crew is dead to some of that. Now, how would you like to get sued? Yes. For violating all these agreements of the United States federal government? Yes. And then how would you like to get sued as individual nations for having any knowledge of this? Because that's what I'm going to do. Now, when you go through all the state issued identifications of every nation of the world, yes, I want to know all those that are able to invest in other nations where they can participate in the citizen by investment programs. Yes, and all of those that made some sort of investment in another nation to be able to have two passports. Now, let's say you're, rich. And you said I didn't have a fortune. Now, I mentioned in the past what is known as the oath. I declare that the above information is true. I'm a registered voter residing at the address listed above. That I am a candidate for the office listed above, and that at the time of filing this declaration, I am legally qualified to assume office. Now, I swear, or affirm, I will support the Constitution and laws of the United States and the Constitution and laws of the state of Washington. Now, let's say that you did under oath, yes, fill out a candidacy form to run for office. And in the last, 10 years, you heard about that, well, Governor Jay Inslee, sorry to point you out again. Obviously, this violates all immigration laws in every nation of the world. I don't see how you could not have perjured yourself. Yes, when you did swear or affirm that you would support the Constitution and the laws. Now, those multiple, multi something treaty, legal treaty, agreements, yeah, I want them for every nation of the world. Shoot. And then this constitutional laws of the state of Washington, yeah. As a candidate for office, yeah, you did swear under oath, yes, that if you had any knowledge of forgery or fraud, you would immediately remove all forgery and fraud. But you haven't done that, have you? I'm sitting here, yes, having documented forgery, having documented forgery, yes, fraud, yes, fraud. Now, in any nation of the world, if I wanted to apply for citizenship, yes, they would say your driver's license says 6'2", 255 pounds. Yes, yes, they would. Now, as the pauper, if they said to me, well, where's your actual dissolution of marriage? I'd say, I don't know where they sent it because nobody ever gave me notice of court hearings. Now, I keep telling you that I want custody of my sons, and you keep saying right now, we just don't have to do what the laws say. Now, I'm going to tell you something, okay? When you happen to violate all immigration laws of every nation of the world, yes, there's what's known as privilege. Oh, a special legal right, exemption, or immunity granted to a person or class of persons, an exception to a duty. A privilege grants someone the legal freedom to do or not to do a given act. It immunizes conduct that, under ordinary circumstances, would subject the actor to liability. Now, You said you have a privilege. Yes. You had the privilege of issuing court orders. Yes. Where you did swear that you would support the laws. Yes. And the Constitution. And then you said, well, we really don't have to. Oh. Now, there's what's known as the attorney oath. There could be some of those in the bar association known as the American Bar Association. Yes. That do remember that I had 3 years ago said, these people suck. They're going to jail. Yes. And for every member of the American Bar Association that did get admitted to the ABA, how many of them know about the 6.1? Now, I'll go through that. Well, now you perjured yourselves, didn't you? Yes. I actually have the right to sue every attorney in the American Bar Association for perjury. Now, you said that you perjury. You lost your privilege of practicing law because you do know, yes. And since I told you it was against the law, you decided you wouldn't involve yourselves right now. Now, let's say you get charged with perjury. You violated your oath. Yes. You allowed for the furtherance of the fraud, the furtherance of the violent crime. This idea of continuing with the violent hate crimes, yes, the conspiracy, the kidnapping, furtherance of crime or fraud, there is no privilege under this rule. You do not have any privilege as any attorney of the United States. You've lost your privilege. Yes. If the services of the lawyer were sought, obtained, or used to enable or aid anyone to commit or plan to commit what the client knew or reasonably should have known to be a crime of fraud, yes. Furtherance of the crime or fraud, yeah. Now, this idea, right, that we're just going to keep doing this because you absolutely refuse that you've abused your privilege of being in office and that you cannot be held liable for this. You know, there's a professor, Carlton Bailey. Yes. I don't know if he's still involved in what he's teaching, but he gives a syllabus that is useful, yes, for those that want to learn about law in the state of Arkansas. Oh. Now, I like this the professor's responses to given in class. Kudos. Can't get much better than that. Excellent, accurate, a tad insightful, good, or absolutely accurate. No, not insightful. Okay. You didn't mean that, did you? You didn't actually mean to say what you just said? Unprepared or failing to answer. Now, a lot of times when you're one of these law professors, because I've emailed a lot of law schools, yes, it might mean that you did not mean to say what you just said, did you? Because I emailed Harvard. Yes. I emailed Princeton. I emailed Gonzaga. And a lot of these law professors said, well, we can't be held liable. You didn't mean that, did you?